You're such an asshole.
I forgot to put this guy's link in the thing. I gotta do that. This is brought to us by I'm no economist, but he has his own YouTube channel. I'll link to that once I update the thing. Hey, Cappy, longtime listener, repeat customer. No need to keep me anonymous this time. Matter of fact, you could plug my channel. I'm no economist, but. And so he has it there. I'm looking for a bit of your economic wisdom. Should my Euro poor country of Bulgaria join the Eurozone, adopt the euro over a national currency? We are one of 6 EU countries not yet in the Eurozone, and our currency is currently pegged to the euro with a fixed exchange rate. Curious to hear your thoughts on an actual economist educated by the Carlson School of Economics. Okay, a lot of things wrong with this. First, I don't even have a degree in economics. I have a minor. It was only through work that I ended up actually kind of becoming an economist. And then I originally did have an interest in it, so I always studied it on the side. So that's the weird path I went there. It is also the Carlson School of Management. All right. It is not the Carlson School of Economics, because even though economics is a worthless degree, economics, people who major in economics are way smarter than your average business major. Go look it up by IQ. I'm not even joking about that. It is the Carlson School of Management, and it is a shit piss quality school that no one should send their children to. You say, but Cabby, don't you say if you could go and major in accounting at the Carlson School of Management, wouldn't that be all right? Yes, if there's a degree that you should get at the Carlson School of Management, it would be accounting. But why would you pay all that money when you could go to Western Governors University for a fraction of the cost and not get parking tickets all the time by Minneapolis meter maids? There's no reason, none, to go to the Carlson School of Management, let alone any other business school. They're completely worthless. Don't waste your time. How much for a video? And so, okay, so here, you should know this as an economist, right? I think you're an economist. Do you know how long it would take to analyze one country's monetary system and debts and industries, and then go look at the EU and look at all the rules? That's like a month-long research project. And I'm like, yeah, no. I said, man, I want to do a full economic analysis, but a short political one. Let's call it 30 for a video response. On the way, PayPal no longer allows paying with the card. Yeah, this is the guy who pointed it out to me, and it's like, no, they just require a lot of personal information now to pay, which I'll probably be looking into. It should just be name, credit card, 3-digit ID, and expiration date. I'm gonna look for a. We don't need your emails. We don't, or your mailing address. We just don't. So you said fine, okay, that's good. So here's the thing. I'm not gonna do an economic analysis because I don't think the economics actually matters that much. You already got it pegged there. Yes, there is an inconvenience that everyone's got to translate their currency into yours. That has to be an exchange. That's what the EU, the euro, was intended, that you would just not have to deal with 30, 40 different exchange rates. But God, that was what, the 80s or the 90s they were talking about it, and they implemented it. It's a great idea, but here's the problem. You just created now what, a 4th level of government? So I don't know how it is in all the countries over in Europe, but you must have some kind of municipality town government. Then there's a state or a regional government. Then there is a national/federal government. And now you got the EU. And if you go look at people in the EU, I mean, isn't this what Nigel Farage, hang on, EU Parliament? Like, why do you have a parliament? What's there the parliament for? You don't need this is an economic, you just need a contract. Hey, we're all doing this. Get your central banks to work together. Get it, or national banks to get our shit together here. There shouldn't be a separate Congress or a parliament. I'm sorry, get your federal budgets together. There should be a Congress of legislatures that now are going to go well beyond what the original economic contract for having one currency, one unit of currency for the entire area. And now I don't even want to go look and see what the EU Parliament has passed. I don't. How many legislatures? I recall there was democracy and human rights. Where the fuck does that come from? Powers and procedures, budget to supervise national parliaments, organizations and rules, democracy and human rights, global Yep, see, you've expanded. And that's what a concern was back in the day that I had about the EU, is you just added another, what would have been a bureau or a department, nation, continent-wide, and now it's becoming its own thing. What do you guys pay it's not free, right? What do you guys pay in taxes to support that thing? And what other rules are they handing down? What it's very similar to, and I don't know if you guys got this in Europe, but it's very similar to having an HOA in here in the United States, where we already got federal, local, and state governments. And then some people create HOAs, like we belong to this community. Now you got to answer to this HOA. And there's pros and cons to them, but a lot of these HOAs grow and become onerous, they become invasive, and they become tyrannical. And the other may now, if you could guarantee me that the EU was not corrupt, it was managed by competent people, sound financial minds, which it isn't. Go look at the fucking parliament members of the EU. Hang on, let me check something. Yeah, okay, just want to make sure. If you could guarantee me competent management, fine, but you can't. You can't. And knowing most of Europe, how it's just a bunch of lefties who don't want to work, especially in the government sector, right? And like, oh, let's just have all the immigrants in the world come in and we're going to get rid of it. Remember when Germany got rid of their nuclear power? Remember that? And it's like, wait a minute, hold on. We didn't sign up for all this non-economic horse shit. We just want the currency. That's it. And whereas, go way back to the Maastricht treaties and Basel, well, those are banking requirement, but there were like, hey, to join the EU, you got to get your finances in order. Dude, how many times have they bent the rules on that? Because the underlining members, they're like, fuck you, we're not going to do it. We're socialists. We're going to have 5% government deficit to GDP. And what I fear for the Bulgarian people or anyone else is you're attaching yourself to these lazy post-peak Europeans, right? Generally Western Europe. Western Europe is the weak people, bad times stage. They're on the way down. I would not be hooking my boat to them because they're going to have all these other horseshit requirements that have nothing to do. You're just subserving your people, your nation, your sovereignty to a bunch of bureaucrats. Where is it? Brussels? Is that where you guys are headed? Headquartered, rather? No. It has nothing to do with economics. You know, the currency exchange rate and your labor and your wages, I have to analyze all that. You know what? It could be okay in the short term. Long term, fuck the EU. Fuck another level of government where it's headed up by a bunch of leftists and busybody, work avoidant bureaucrats who it's not just about the money. They're going to try and force political things onto Bulgaria. No, there's no way I'd subserviate my sovereignty as a nation to a supra nation or an agreement. Now you can have contracts and agreements. You can have treaties, sure. But for how long has the EU been around? 25 years? So the quarter century it's been around. All I see is just starts like this, and now it's just this expanding government, and it's a pain in the ass, and everyone lost their sovereignty. And then you had Brexit. No way. No way. Fuck the EU. And you guys got it pegged to the euro anyway. So, I mean, you still got to do exchange rates and all that. I understand. But no, I wouldn't. In general, you guys are former Soviet bloc, so you're the opposite. You had the bad times, now you have the strong people. And so hopefully you would bring in your good times. Now is not the time to attach yourself to the USS sinking boat of bad times and weak people. You're the strong people. Go have your own good times. And so I know that's a purely political analysis, but it's not there's no economics in it at all. But no way. No. Well, it's the same thing we got going on here in the United States. Tariffs are bad. Trade wars are bad for both countries involved. But it's a political motivation where Trump's like, yeah, I think we got to reassert our sovereignty here and say, our neighbors aren't doing this shit no more. You've been fucking us over in these ways and we're not tolerating it anymore. Oh my God, now people are at the negotiating table. All right. Exciting talk. No super chats. There you guys go. Okay. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.